Welcome back to Games Made for You. This is my first long form video in a long time, so I'm going to cover a lot, and it's going to be pretty fun, and there's going to be a lot of script covering. All of my scripting is not very good, like organization-wise, but I'll try to explain it the best I can, and just have a fun time explaining my game that I have been developing. Starting with our most obvious change from last long form video, there's no timer now and the field of vision for the player has been increased. The next thing that I have added to this game is a dash and an attack. This basic attack is just supposed to be a flashlight. I'll change the graphics at the end. If you've watched the other videos, you know how much I hate graphics. But the basic attack does kill the enemies, and the dash, well, is a dash. I've also added a checkpoint to the game where if you die, you will respawn at this checkpoint, as shown by me dying here. Restart, spawn right back here. Now I'll attempt to show you all the things the boss can do. There are two main things: this attack where he slowly shoots and backs away, and a dash attack where he dashes at you. Oh, and there's the anti-cheese. If you do anything to cheese the boss, I have added a kill switch where he basically just spawns a bunch of bullets and kills you. I don't know why he did it there. I can fix that later, but basically, I've made it so that you shouldn't be able to beat the boss for an unfair reason. I should be using my dash more. This boss is not very developed. I have spent a lot of time doing it, but like, it's not the only thing I've been spending my time on, so it's not the best right now. I will be fixing a lot of things, including that bug where I just exploded. But I have made a function that in the boss script is called kill, that just spawns a bunch of bullets around him whenever I found a situation where he could easily be cheesed. Another one of them is, I'm going to try to trigger now, is if you put him on a wall for too long. But he shoots too fast. I'm not good enough at the game. He shoots faster the closer you get to him, and so that's a fun thing. Let's see if I can get it here. Yep, as you saw, I pushed him against the wall for too long, and therefore he just blew me up. This run I will actually just be trying my best to win and not trying to show you guys stuff. So he's barely faster than me. I did not have my dash back. So the basic attack is not long enough for you to not have to interact with him, if you guys know what I mean. I'm probably going to make it just a bit longer, but I made the attack just short enough where you have to actually like be able to dodge the boss and not just stand very far away. But as you can see, a lot better this time. That is what happens when you do something to the boss that I deem as making him way easier than he should be. I will definitely change that later when I actually fix all the bugs, but for now, it's my funny solution to that problem. After the boss fight, there is a reward that you get that is the boss's bullets. These projectiles that you see him shooting out that just killed me. You get those after defeating him. Oh my gosh. I'm very bad at this game if you guys haven't noticed. But left click is the main attack, and space is the dash that I should be using more. I might just cut to after I finish this boss if this recording goes over 5 minutes. Oh my. Yeah, so I definitely need to do a lot of balance changing, but for now, this is how the boss is. The dodging is pretty simple. Alright, I got this. Okay. If you just move diagonally, that's how I've found the most success in beating this boss, is when he does his attack where he shoots at you. You just move diagonally. Alright. Dash, 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 please. Okay. Yay! I did it! I beat the boss. It only took me like 4 minutes. And now I have picked up his projectile, so I can shoot his projectile. And it does not kill me. I dashed into it, it doesn't kill me. It does kill the enemies that I have placed way over here to the right. I'm gonna make a lot of rooms in between, like the boss and all this stuff, and the dash and attack will not be at the beginning of the game. Most likely I'll make the players work for it, but you will be able to get them pretty quickly, and they won't be behind bosses. A lot of the beginning of the game will be exploration based and not like boss rush based. There are only going to be a couple bosses in the game, and I plan to make them all like very polished bosses instead of like a ton of bosses. Now that I've shown you all the gameplay mechanics, I will be showing you the layout that I have so far. So this is your spawn area. You go to the right, this area will be without dash to here, and this will lead on somewhere else. I also have this area that's kind of, at the beginning I meant it for only dash hallway, and I think you can still make it with only dash, but there will be balances to make it work how I want it to work, and then that'll lead into this area of the map. I'm gonna have an up, down, or like other pathways than just left and right, but for now, you have left to the boss area. There'll be a bunch of rooms this way before the boss, but this is just like the boss area in general. This might become like a shop or something before the boss, like prepare yourself, the boss is next room. But for now, this is the layout that I'm working with. Not much, but it's something. Now it's time for me to explain some of my really confusing scripting. Most, if not all of these scripts have a on collision enter and an on trigger enter so that they can detect collision and whether something is touching them. I think only this script doesn't have those, because this script just like kills all the enemies, destroys all the bullets every time the game ends, and it goes to the end screen, which is this game object right here with the kills enemies script. So that just kills all the enemies. I think this also has it. Yep, the in the closet when you go into one of these yellow items also has the script so that nothing can kill you while you're like not even playing. It also just makes sure there isn't lingering enemies and bullets when you come back in from the game. Alright, on to the next topic, movement. There are two different types of movements that I have, one for the player and one for everything else, if not almost everything else. Uh, they're all in the fixed update because that is how you have to do movement in Unity, but this one uses a rigid body as its movement, and the dash is also based on the rigid body. Originally, I had it so that it was on a timer and it just changed this speed right here, but that didn't work too well and it was really buggy, so I just simplified it and changed it to this, which has two ands on the if statement. Amazing logic. Let's see, boss enemy. This has the movement where it just faces the player, and it transform.up, which is like the way it's facing. It just goes the way it's facing times the speed. So that's just pretty simple stuff. In this script, I have made it so that when it needs to be a different speed, it'll just change to a different speed. Like when it's backing up, it just goes to negative 2.5 is the speed instead of 4, I think it is. And then there's the enemy one that is also like this, but it has one set speed. And I made that set speed from the spawner. The spawner can change the enemy speed just because I found that that was an easier way to have enemies in like close situations, like this hallway that I wanted. It will make these enemies a lot closer to frame perfect than a lot farther away. And it just gives me more freedom to make levels the way that I want to. Another common thing that you will find in the code is this player near boolean. This detects whether the player is near for things like spawner, the boss enemy, and I think that's it. Also, I think it's the dash enemy, but it makes it so that the spawner and etc. can find the player and do things based off of if the player is near it or not. It uses the player check transform, which is just itself, to find the player in player layer. The last part of the scripting that I'm going to show you guys is the boss enemy like logic. And I know I said I would try to explain everything to the best of my ability, but I'm just gonna show you all to you guys, and if you guys want to figure it out, you can. But I did this all like in one session, and it does not like look great. It's not the most organized. It works, and I know how it works, so I can like change it when I want to. But it does take a lot of thought, and it's hard to explain because a lot of variables look like they do the same thing, like the is near and player near look like they do the same thing, but they're not. The is near function, to give people that care a hint, is used to like determine whether it's in or out like once. The player near is always checking, the is near checks once. So that's the difference for that. So I'll just slowly scroll down for those who care to look and try to figure it out. But what I will explain are the extra functions, or the extra function that I add named kill. This function is what you saw where the boss like exploded in bullets and pretty much always killed me if I was near him, and if I was far away you can dodge it, but almost all the time that will just kill you for trying to do the boss in a easier way than you should be able to. And what it does is it basically spawns like 30 plus bullets like this, where it will do it like above where it's looking, one where it does it below where it's looking, and this one may look weird, but it kind of just does the middle. It's really weird the way it works, but it works. Trust me. Thank you for watching this video. If you've gotten this far, please comment your ideas below, like and subscribe, and continue to watch this game get developed until it makes it all the way to Steam. See you next time.